All right, Eric, Chicks Dan, what's going on? Oh yeah, I haven't done one. Well, I did one 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's been a couple months since I've been consistent. But we're gonna start being a little bit more consistent. Yes, the knee is 100% better, and I'll get into a bunch of that stuff once we give people a few more minutes to hop in here, and we'll see what happens. I just wanted to hop in a little early, test things, make sure make sure we're good to go before so I have time to possibly fix something if something needed fixed. But it looks like we're good, so that'll be great. That'll be great. Mac, you're hilarious, brother. You're hilarious. Hmm. Mike, what's up, buddy? What's up, Mike? Brandon, what's happening? Definitely long time no see, but we're gonna fix that. That's the plan, is to get back to being more consistent. Let me see. Let me see if I can fix something real quick. Let's see. I'll have to try and fix it later. We're dropping a lot of frames, so I'm not sure why that's happening, but I'll figure that out later. Yeah, familiar faces. Always familiar faces in here. That's for sure. Yeah, that Kong ported blower. I think the what you call it still out there on that yet. How good that Kong ported blower is. It seems to be pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. Mac, you definitely have too many good ideas. That's for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, Brandon, I kind of missed doing these as well. I'm gonna give people a few more minutes to hop in, and then I'll get started on the usual topics. I'll go over where I'm at and what's been going on with me, and then I'll go over what's up with Shake and Bake and where we're going with that, and then we'll let the chat take us out till about 10 o'clock. try one more thing real quick, and then we'll get started. All right, now we're kicking. All right, let's see where we're at here. I'm looking at both. I got my OBS open and YouTube open, so I keep switching my head back and forth, looking to see what's going on. Let me go back up. Yeah, the 3.0 Whipple, those 3.0 Whipples have been having problems. That's for sure, Dick Stan. No doubt about it. Let's see. Brandon, still no car for me as of now. I have to drop 3K on my Maton intake exhaust arms. But the car is forged, Cam. These dickheads. Nice. Nice, Brandon. Nice. They just need the HDX1. That's for sure. Went there. 11. Nice, Mac. I know you guys got nightmare stuff rolling. That's for sure. Alejandro Flores got me skeptical about Pro Chargers now. Well, it is what it is. I'm living proof that Pro Chargers work, and they work well when you take care of them. I haven't even had mine rebuilt yet, and I've been beating on it for what, 3 years now, 4 years now. I've been beating on it for a while. Maybe the end of the year I'll send it in and get it refreshed. I'm sure they'll find a bunch of stuff wrong and charge me an arm and a leg, but it does need refreshed because it's been beat on a lot. There you go, J Stan. Absolutely. Mac's the man. I'm telling you. Mac and Dave, they got it. They got a system. That's for sure. Yeah, rebuilding it may get us a little, I don't know, but yeah. I don't know what my plans are for next year, so let's just get started. We got a bunch of people in here right now. So for me, I talked about it the last live I did, which was probably about a month ago or so. Just really haven't been myself, haven't been motivated to do much of anything. Rocky Mountain Race Week helped quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, helped quite a bit. But the videos that I actually took were sketchy at best, weren't very good. That's why I didn't put out the last one. It just they weren't very good. I was not on my game for Rocky Mountain Race Week when it come to doing videos. But had my knee surgery. My knee is doing great. So the surgeon said what they found was, and it was the first time he's ever seen anything like this, is I had some bone shards, pieces, whatever you want to call it, mixed in with a bunch of scar tissue. And that's what was aggravating my knee and, exploding and the pains and the creaks and the cricks and all that stuff. So they took all that stuff out, cleaned it out. I still got a bunch of arthritis in there. There's not much you can do about arthritis, but they did the best they could do. Went through physical therapy for 2 months, 2.5 months. And probably never going to be 100%, but I'm probably a good 95%, and I'm super happy with that. So that's what's up with me. What's up with Shake and Bake? So I tried to explain it in my last video when I went to Capitol. So we did, Mac took ATS, Applied Torque Solutions Stage 2 kit, along with the billet input shaft, rebuilt my transmission. Well, rebuilt, we'll say a different transmission, because we're going to take apart the simple transmission on another video. And we are also going to take apart the 5.7 that we've never taken apart and looked at and found out what the problem was. We're going to do that. I know I've been saying that for, a year now? Over a year now. We are going to do that. So we're going to do both of those, so we can show you what happened, what's up with the simple trans, and try and nail down what happened to the forged 5.7 engine. We are going to do that. So yes. So now I have, you can see up in the, up over here, ATS, I put them up there, Applied Torque Solutions. So I got their transmission built by Mac, put together by Mac. And it ran flawless at Rocky Mountain Race Week. It ran great. And just daily driving around here, oh, it's phenomenal. I don't have any flares. I don't have none of that snow slipping going on. Nothing. But we're going to continue to put that transmission to the test. So Friday, so y'all saw Capitol, spun quite a bit, didn't quite have the rear shock settings where they probably should be to be able to hook. I would argue it was probably a little bit of the track, more of me not having the right settings at Capitol to be able to hook and get down the track as fast as possible. But we still was running some mid to low nines, so I'm happy with that. And those were on the 315s. So that was the other thing for Rocky Mountain Race Week. I had 315s, 6015s, and the TBM brakes in the rear. So we're going to put the TBM brakes in the front. We're going to get the chute on. Probably take the trailer hitch off for now and lighten the car up a little bit to run future-ish stuff now. What we're going to do is, if you haven't seen my IG or Mod the Fame's IG, he has a fastest Northeast list list races that he's running. First list race is on the 19th of this month at Capitol Raceway. So I will be there. I got called out from my spot, and we're just going to go out and have some fun. You're going to see people trying to throw out cash out there, and I'll call you out on your spot, and let's run for $1,000 or $2,500 or whatever. Don doesn't race for money. Y'all know that. So all my races are just going to be for positioning. But there's some fast cars on that list, and now that it's open to everybody, there's going to be a few more fast cars on that list, and we'll see what happens. It may be difficult for even me to stay on that list once a bunch of other fast cars start coming on the list. And the time slip I provided to Mod to Fame was my 868 pass, and that put me at number 7. So if that tells you anything. And this first list of 15, you had to have 10,000 followers or subscribers on your social media, and that's just to get the word out there. Now that the list has been created, it's open to everyone. If you want to call one of the lower 3 guys out to get on the list. So there we go. I'm going Friday. Oh, we are doing one more change. I'm changing from 315 6015s to 275 6015s. So we're going to be on a little skinnier tire, a little shorter tire, back to 28 inches where we were when we were running 8s. So I think that's going to put me back where I should be, as long as we can hook, as long as we can figure out the settings, the right settings to make the car hook. Because there's people running 6s on 275s. So it's 100% possible to make them hook with big power. It's just we got to get the settings right. And I'm sure Mac will hit me up if I missed anything on the updates on where we're at with Shake and Bake. But so list racing, we're gonna continue to do that throughout the year. We're going to drag week in September. Possibility of going to roadkill nights the beginning of August. That's a possibility. Mac and I are just talking about it. Mac, you still got to give me info on that. See if I see if we can just show up, or we gotta do some kind of sign up sheet or something for that. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna do probably some Friday night streetcar races at MIR. We'll get some of those in. So we'll actually get some, no kidding, races instead of me going to Capitol and no one shows up and I'm running by myself. I know that doesn't make for great content when I'm running by myself, but so we'll try and get some competitive races in here, so you can look at the other car that I'm putting in the dust, that I'm gapping. All right. So that's me. That's Shake and Bake. That's the future for the rest of the year on what I'm trying to do. And you know, it's some of these events I'm gonna have to run. I can't run I can't run faster than 9.0 or 150 until we get the chute on, or they're gonna kick me out. So probably be running no time everywhere I go. In the event I do go too fast, sometimes they tend to let no time people go, bend the rules a little bit, where if you run time, then they really get you, because your time is shown and everyone sees it, and then they see, oh, you went over 150 and you don't have a chute, you know, what's going on, why aren't you kicked out? So that's kind of why I'm going to start running no time. Plus at MIR, for a test and tune, if you run no time, they have what they call all-star prep for $100. You can get fresh prep every time you run, and then right after those all-star cars are their no time cars. So the no time cars get some pretty good prep without having to pay the extra $40 to get the all-star prep. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing for a while, is running no time. And when I ran no time at Cecil, no one really said anything to me when I ran fast. So we'll probably be running no time. But you know the deal. I'm going to put the draggy up there. I'll put the time slip up there. Just if you see someone getting me from the outside, it's not going to be up on the board. All right. Let me get back up in the chat a little bit and see where we are. Yep, I did say the rebuild may gain a little bit. Yeah, it may. So they replace. I emailed ProCharger. I think it's like $1,100. They go over all the seals and some of the bearings and stuff like that, and then anything after that is obviously extra, in which they'll charge you more. But hopefully, it's just some seals, typical rebuild for the $1,100. But we'll see at the end of the year. I'm not going to do it while I'm racing now. I'll do it at the end of the year. He hasn't said the blower itself is bad. He just says it snaps crankshafts frequently. Yeah, I got you. Brandon, getting an F1 A94. It's not in the plans. It's not in the plans. I think after this year, I'm going to slow down even more, and probably not race quite as much. Probably may not video quite as much. It's just, it's one of those things that's starting to get like work instead of fun. you know, I do this for fun. So, um, yeah. But we'll see how this year goes, and then next year we'll see what happens. Mac Mustangs brake cramps, cranks, Hemis don't. Plus, people over tighten belts. I hold 23 psi with 6 rib with no slip. Nothing's over tight. That's true. That's true. In the Hemis, it's the actual Whipple that's the internals of the Whipple is what winds up breaking. So yeah, the crankshaft is just a coyote issue, but the internal part of the Whipple is what's happening. They're breaking the name's escaping me right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The internal pieces to the Whipple is what's breaking in those 3.0 Whipples, and causing them a lot of headache. Mike, good to hear about the knee. Let's say if you get hit by lightning, it explodes arthritis. All right, I'll stand outside with a lightning rod. It was storming earlier today. I should have stood out there. Mac, by the way, Don's first low nines was in a Hellcat. His first 1.360. Yep. Yeah, it was hilarious. That was what, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I did that. Eric, if you do the thing and you do it right, it just works. That's true. Yeah, Mike, the Forged 5.7. I know I'm saying it again, but Mac and I are trying to make plans to actually get that 5.7 tore apart and find out what's going on. Dre, I have arthritis in my hands. It's got to keep moving so it doesn't tighten up. That is true. I have noticed that if I do lay around quite a bit and don't move my feet and my knees, they do tend to tighten and stiffen up. 100%. Eric, sounded like it was shifting perfectly in the video. Yes. So if you go back to Rocky Mountain Race Week, again, I wasn't on top of my game. I didn't get a log to Dave until like the middle. I think it was at Thunder Valley is where I actually got a good log to Dave, or maybe it was, I think it was Thunder Valley. And it was shifting so good and so fast, it was pulling about 300 RPMs and then coming back in. So instead of a good shift in a log, which looks like a dip and then up, it was a dip, and then up. So after Mac talked to Brian at Applied Torque Solutions, he said, hey, you need to take torque management out altogether. So that was at Capital. Everything seemed to shift great at Capital, even with the spinning. So I think we got everything shifting at the right RPMs. We're shifting about 6,800, 6,900. So right where we want to be. It was making 23 pounds of boost with no ice. So we were cooking at Capital. Now it's just, we got to get the car to hook. I got to put the settings in the shocks so we are able to. Mike, I'll have an appointment for the spring time transmission by Mac. Yeah, the kits are cheaper, and you know, Mac's going to charge you some, and he charged me some too, labor to do all that stuff, and it depends how you get it to him on how much, whether you bring him just the transmission or you bring him the car and he's got to take the transmission out and put it back in. So just keep that in mind. Mac Simple had a lot of metal and shavings and stuff in the fluid when he pulled the pan. So what he did is he built another 90 and had to take my valve body and TCM, put it in that built transmission so we don't have to worry about any tuning issues. So that's why he's saying he found all that stuff in the pan when he pulled it, because we had to swap some stuff over into the other transmission so we don't have no tuning issues. Brandon, So ATS versus pure transmission, which one to go with? Pros and cons for both. So Pure has a good reputation. I'm not going to knock Pure. Brian is less expensive. Even if you do the kit and have Mac build it, or you can do the kit and you can build it if you want to. Brian said it's like a medium-ish level, and I know Mac's probably going to kick me, but yeah. So you have options to make things a little cheaper with ATS, and Pure does have kits too. You can order their kits and do it yourself, or have someone else do it for you. But really, Brian's kits, if you look at them, he details out exactly what you're getting. Where Pure and Sipple, they just say increase clutches and, billet this and billet that. Brian goes into, hey, you're getting, I can't remember the exact numbers. You're getting 12 A clutches, 13 B clutches, 20 C clutches, whatever. So I like what Brian's doing by telling you exactly what you're getting. And he is customer focused. So he even went to say, Don, if you want to build your transmission, I'll help walk you through it. So he does take pride in his work, pride in his kits, and wants people to succeed with his stuff. Pure, like I said, they were good to us. They sent the torque converter last year for Rocky Mountain Race Week, which we didn't get in time to get it in. But they did send it to us. Did give me a little bit off for that. But we gave them a shout out when we had his stuff in there. I still have it in there. So that torque converter is still in there. Someone else may have a different opinion. I think you're okay if you would go either way. I would lean toward Applied Torque Solutions because I got it and how great it works. So there you go, Brandon. I know probably didn't help you too much to make a decision. But I don't think you can go wrong either way. Put the giggle juice in. So technically it's all hooked up except for the plumbing into the intake manifold or the intake pipe. So technically it wouldn't be a stretch to put the giggle juice in there. But we got to get it to hook without giggle juice, and then we can think about maybe some giggle juice if we have to stay on the list. I would like to stay on the list, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, what Mike said. All right, Eric. Mac, we had to turn the torque managers fully off on Dawn's to shift right. The transmission is spec that tight and works so good. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's cooking. Yeah, Brian. So far, Brian's been spot on. We're gonna beat on it some more, and we'll let you know how it goes. I'm staying with the 8 HP 70 in mind. Stage 2 when I get there. That's what Max got in his car, and I know he keeps going back and forth. I'm not sure what he's gonna do for drag week, but I'll let him talk about if he wants to talk about where he's going in his car. I won't talk for him. Eric, tires should help. Yeah, so it's gonna get some of our low off the line a little bit better, and get some of our speed back. Will get us even more speed because there's shorter tires. Mac, another HP 70 just got pulled apart for inspection. on an XM3, 5,000 miles, no torque management, and it all looked new, and it only goes out the race. So that's one of Brian's transmissions. What Mac's talking about, the HP70. This thing keeps skipping on me. Let me go over here and do it through. Fastest XM3 in the country. Yeah, that is good news about the 70, for sure. I'm honestly interested in how many views the list race gets because it seems it's gonna. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So there's 15 people on there. They got more than 10,000 subscribers and viewers, or whatever you want to call them on IG. So the word's gonna get out there, and it'll be interesting to see who shows up to get on the list now that it's open to everybody. Max says I'll do some poking. Also, while you were reading, dude was hitting me up asking me when he could link for the plenum. If you don't mind reaching out, can you send me text me his phone number again? Mac, text me his phone number again. Pretty decent for a 6-banger. Yep. Eric says he's got one, but it's not fast like that. Mike, when I come down for the trans, could do a cam comparison. Yep. Just saying, RSP running the SUV game, so I haven't seen anything else lately. RSP. Don't get us started on RSP. Tim, what's up, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah. Eric, I'm just gonna leave it at that. We all know the real deal. So we'll leave it at that. Green Light Channel, your videos are like my Bible for the mods I'm doing myself. Thanks, man. I appreciate you checking them out. And like I said, hopefully the hope is that people see those videos and don't make my mistakes. And my biggest mistake was not having a plan and just willy-nilly going down the performance road and not having goals to meet before moving on to the next goal. And I spent money 2 or 3 times. So hopefully that won't happen to you. So you don't have to spend money 2 or 3 times as you go down that route. But I appreciate you watching the videos, man. I really do. That's awesome. Yeah, he does have. There's no doubt he does have some good time slips, but his stuff doesn't last very long. Mac, I have a feeling Don's gonna get some turbos. I don't know. We'll see. Streeters for Ruby can run fast times over and over again. Yeah. Turbos would be the move. Definitely. And the Whipple, it's the snout that's having problems. So it's not the snout. It's the things that twist that push the air. I don't. The name of this escaping me right now. I feel so stupid. Those things are what's happening is they're getting so hot and they expand and then they hit each other and then it just tears the Whipple apart. Turbo is always the move. I'm debating buying Colby Davis turbo setup. All right. All-wheel drive and the track wasn't helping them. They got pushed in too much. Yep. By the way, 8.0 was done in a Jeep like 7 years ago. It was a 6.1. The hot guys are finally starting to catch up. I hear you, Mac. I just want to see who gets into the 7s. RSP went 8.1. Rippa did a 8.4. Yeah, those two go back and forth. So so that the answer never stopped moving. Yeah, right. Sevens need to happen at an NHRA track no matter what, no matter who does it. Can't be some BS. We saw pure drama with them faking a record. Yeah, there was a lot of there was a lot of drama with that. I doubt that will happen. Someone finna do a glory pass in a couple months. Yeah, I mean, they may hit a 7, but they may only do it once. Oh, that that was my inside voice coming out. Sorry about that. The drama queens. Who cares what that fool does? Yeah. Don pay with some cash and some. Gave me some cash. All right, Mac. All right. Yeah, I hear you, Drake. I hear you, buddy. I got to keep moving myself. Yep. It doesn't solve arthritis or anything like that, but it does help not stiffening it up when you're laying for a long time. So more. You got it, Mike. You got it, Mike. Who would you go to for a 5-speed built trans? I would definitely go with Brian. No doubt about it. Mopar Adventures, good to see you too, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's just saying that's what almost every big horsepower nag one goes with, the dings valve body for sure. Jake Stan, thanks for the $5, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the tip. I really appreciate it. Give you a thumbs up. Go back up here where I was. That's pretty much true. Mod to Fame has a stock rebuilt Nag 1 in his with a Dings throttle body. Or valve body, not throttle. Valve body. So Jig Stan and Matt going back and forth. Plan on scheduling how my car worked on up there because job is taking too long. That's the problem nowadays, man, is shops are just getting overrun with work. And it's hard to push stuff out because it takes time. And here's something too. So I'm actually going to do a video on this as well. When you take your car to a shop and you have what you want done to the car, don't give them I am bad for it. I am really bad for it. Mac will tell you, Mike will tell you, I'm bad at doing it myself. And that's requirements creep. One of those, well, while you have the car, can you do this thing also? Can you add this thing also? You got to keep in mind those things, not only ordering the parts, waiting on the parts, installing the parts, that all takes time. And the problem is that takes time away from someone they already have on the schedule to start their work. So as you know, so you do it, I do it, Snuffy does it, Snuffy 2 does it, Snuffy 3 does it. Next thing you know, now that shop is 4 or 5 weeks behind because of requirement creep. Because 90% of the time, they're not going to tell you no because they want to do the work. They want you to be happy. They want you to come back. But when you do that, it's hindering their business because it's putting them further and further behind. So I'm taking a hard stand for me not to do that again, as much as possible. So try and stay away from requirements creep when you get your car to the shop. And that's why some of these shops, it's taking a year and a half to get a car out. It's not because they don't have the stuff for your car. It's that requirements creep from everybody else is pushing things back. And that's all. It is all a part of doing business. I've even told my guys, like, dude, you just got to tell them, like, look, I am going to do the job you got on the schedule for. I'm happy to do that. If you want to do something additional to that, you're going to have to get back on the schedule to come back in to have that stuff done. And that's tough for an owner to do because, some people are going to get upset. But, who do you want to upset? The guy's car you got in there or the guy's car that you're pushing down the line because you're doing more work on a car that you weren't supposed to be doing to begin with? So it just puts them in a bad situation. So try and stay away from what Mac and I call dawning Mike and Mac. And that's just adding requirements to something that you wanted to get done. So just remember, I'm going to do a video on that too. So hopefully people will take heed, but some people won't. But I can at least try and help out where I can. Max says he's staying NA for drag week. Enjoy it. Have the adventures. Pro Charger isn't going on. I'll run 11s and won't need Arch. Yep. What do you think is going to run NA? He'll be low 11s for sure. He says boosting, just made some other plans and things are being worked. I'll just say I wanted to beat Don. He's beat me too much. Oh, Mac. But you can take the credit for it because it's your, well, I paid for the build. You built it, so you can take some of it. You can take some of the credit. Hoping mine goes to the shop here soon so I can have a little fun before winter. Yeah. I have to run 11.0 or slower, I believe, to avoid those licenses needed. I'm really just trying to hang with the boys. Plus, J car sounds perfect, and it has 300. Yeah, Jay should be good to go. Eric, Don's laid out a good blueprint to run fast. It was a combination of Mac and me. Some of it was me just buying stuff willy nilly, not doing some research and just willy nilly grabbing stuff. And Mac and Dave just made it work. Tim, Frankenstein has been down for too dang long. Can't wait to see it rip. Yeah, that car's been down for a while, but he's close. He's close to getting her done. And again, Jake Stan, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. I Mike a lot of Jeep, so I can have fun in the winter too. Planning on single turbo. Nice. Jay's car sounds better than it ever has. I'll just say that much. It does. It sounds really, really good. How many twin turbo 6.4s are out there? That's a good question. I'm not really sure, Eric. Not really sure. Drag, TVS, Rootstock, etc. Yeah, there's a number of twin turbo 6.4s out there. I couldn't tell you how many. I know I haven't seen too many at the track, but there are some out there. Can't wait to see what Jay's cooking. Yeah. Yep. Let's check my time here. Yeah, so Max helping out Jay. Dave is gonna help out Jay. So hopefully he'll be safe and out for drag week, and get into drag week and we can all have some fun. Mike, he's laughing. 205 Rams, 1525 Power Wagon. They need some goodies. I hear you. Mopar Venture 11 second in the scat is plenty for the highway. That's for sure. Yipper. You know what's weird? That Jeep that ran 80 only made around 1,300 or so. Why can't these 1,800, 2,000 wheel box that are tin can not do it yet? Yeah, right. And they are a tin can. I've looked in some of RSP's stuff and like there is nothing, no carpet, no door cards, no seats, nothing from the front passenger side front all the way to the back. There's literally nothing but wiring. So they are getting as light as they can get and still haven't hit it. So great question. I don't know if it's the arrow or the setup. I don't think it's the setup. There is some arrow there. They are literally a brick, just like our cars. They are a brick when it comes to arrow. But I don't necessarily think it's the setup. I think it's well, we'll leave it at that. If you know it's not arrow and you know it's not the setup, you know where I'm going. Mac, my scat's been 10s all day. Just looking to set it up to do that. We're going to just let my girl or Chip drive it. Chip. Here we go with Chip again. Bring Chip in to drive cars. Means the dyno numbers are capped. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mopar. Yeah, there are a lot of fibbers out there when it comes to dyno numbers. A lot of people. They just, yeah. Tim, the only guys making that kind of power are probably factory experimental dudes. I hear you. People just talk out their hind ends when given HP numbers 90% of them the time. Let's be honest. That's true. That's 100% true. But y'all see mine. When I'm at the dyno, I show you the dyno sheet. I go from the car to the freaking straight to the monitor to let you know what the car is making. So Dawn ran 8.6, 44.30, 11.30 wheel with some of the can barely break into the eights. That is true. That is true. That is true. But 11.30, that's on your dyno, which is low. If you do the physics calculation 8.6 at 44.40, it comes out to 1,300 and some change. Anyway, drag finally got the Magnuson kit. Only took 4 months. Hoping to get at least one run this summer. Nice. I hope you get out there too, man. Hope you get out there too. It's fun. It's boy math, yeah. While you're in there, exactly, Tim. Exactly. Mac, Don's horrible. He came by to grab something, to drop something off, and then put me to work because he put him to work before he could leave just the other day after his 8 hours. So now that I say don't dawn people, I dawned Mac the other day. I dawned him on Monday, but it was a serious safety thing that he had to fix. So if it wasn't that serious of a safety fix, I would have probably tried to do it when I got home. But this was something different. It's, to be honest, it's pretty amazing. I made it to Chesapeake and back from Chesapeake, Virginia to the shop before seeing exactly what was wrong, and then fixing it. So I did dawn him. I did dawn him. But this was something that I couldn't have gone any further with. So I do it all the time. Pile of parts right now. I plan on throwing on my truck this weekend. I hear you, Eric. Mac, he's like, I like him. And he dropped off some something I really needed. Plus, the more stuff I do to fix, the less and less we need to do. Yeah, later. Just saying, to be honest with you, Don, he told me I had P to V piston to valve contact, so we had the heads redone. He said he saw rust in the cylinder, so I told him verify rings, pistons, and replace them. No, I got you, Dixon. But that's it's a double edged. Again, it's that double edged sword. But no, I got you. You know, when you get in there and you find something that's gonna blow up your engine or ruin your engine, that makes sense to take the time to fix that stuff. But I'm talking about, you know, you're coming in for, say you're coming in, I don't know, for some long tube headers and a cat back exhaust, and you say, hey, I just got this cam, can you throw that in there too? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Now, when they get in there, like for you, Jickstan, they get in there and they find something that's either safety related or you know, something that's going to blow up your engine and cost you more money in the long run, then absolutely I would say, hey, can y'all fix it? Right. But anyway, yes. Yep. I get it. I guess I should caveat it with that. It's different when they find something that's seriously wrong and needs to be fixed. Eric, good point. Yep. So next catch can setup is going to follow my lead and do what I'm doing. Came up with a fix for his coolant issues. So that's done. When we do the new intake manifold, redoing his fuel. Yeah. So we got some stuff upcoming. Like I said, we're trying to get that shorter runners and the shear fab, ultra low profile, so we can get the shaker back on the car. That's the long range plan. Is to get the shaker back on the car. I'd like to do it before drag week, but I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think we're going to get the short runners that fast. Oh, yeah. It says we're trying to get the shaker back on. Yep. And the front brakes. They are getting done too. Front brakes and a chute. End goal. Seeing shaker set up on Marketplace for $2,000. Wow. Tim with the hood and snorkel. There you go. Baby steps, but the end goal will be a lot cleaner and a lot easier to navigate for service and things. Yep. Yeah, that is a good deal. No doubt. Yeah, I still got my shaker hood and everything we need to put it back on. Go snag it now. Boosted Hemi, what's up, buddy? Thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate it. I'm just scooting down here one at a time, trying to get through these comments in the next 10 minutes. So you guys kind of slow down on the comments. So Mac and Don, when do you need bead locks? I would say you need bead locks when you mark your tire, mark your wheel, and your tire is starting to spin on your wheel. That's when you need bead locks. I put mine on when, Mac? When I got to like 8 or 900 rear wheel horsepower, I got my bead lock, my first bead locks. I think it was 8 or 900, but I would say in that range, 800 to 1,000. You're probably going to start having to look at bead locks. Yeah, the bracket is like $300-400. I think I can't. I went in to ask for one for somebody for something I can't remember, and yeah, or no, so I had to get the 6.4 bracket for me because I had the 6.4 intake manifold. When I bought this 6.4 intake manifold, I had to buy the 6.4 bracket to put the shaker back on, and yeah, it was like, and that was years ago, and it was like $300. Yeah, stuff's stupid. The stupidest stuff is stupid expensive. Like if you go to the dealership and try and find some nuts and bolts, stupid expensive. They're like $6-7 a bolt. Like, that's crazy when you can just go to the hardware store and get them cents on the dollar, you know? Anyway, Brandon, how's your engine temps, Don? I brought an Entropy 1,000 horsepower aluminum radiator for my Charger. I'm happy with the quality, but it took over 6 weeks to get made to order. My temps are pretty good for the most part. They stay around. I mean, it's been super hot here. It's been in the mid 90s, 90 to 95, 96. And I've gone out a couple times. Cruising, almost anything is going to be fine cruising. It's in the 180s cruising. Traffic, it gets up into the 205-ish range. But it's not awful, but it's getting close. It's getting close. I like to see it even in traffic stay under 2, but I mean 2.5, 2.10 is not awful. Anyone try the E85 conversion kit, 56 PSI with 1050 injectors, all you need. Have not. Max talking about bead locks, and when you spin the tire on the wheel. That's what I said. Yeah, if you're doing roll racing, you probably don't need them because you're probably not going to spin on the wheel. It's just if you're at the track. Yeah, you'll probably need them. Like I said, in that 800 to 1,000, I would say. Yeah, that Pro Charger coolant tank was a pain in the neck, man. It really was. And Matt came up with a good idea, and it seems to be working pretty good so far. I don't want to. Hey, if you don't want to break anything, you don't want to race. It keeps skipping on me. If it ain't the old 5.7 trader. I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one in a while on a money mission. the old 5.7 trader. That's me. Yep. All that smack guys like, I'm always gonna be a 5.7. I'm never going bigger. And what I do, I go bigger. Thanks for keeping me honest. Heavy car, decent power, good prep, good gear. I can spin the tire. I've seen 450 do it. So I jumped right into B-locks from the start. Man. Yeah, moral story when my car is done, she's going to be a beast, especially with that Dave and Max sauce. You know it. You know it. Also going to Gap Mod the Fame, him and Dawn, back to back. Y'all lucky I'm busy. I only make $12 a day, or I'd have it already done. All right. Eric, there's level to donning people. Yeah. There are levels, that's for sure. Jake saying low level Don. I got you, buddy. Finally finished the deck last week. I donned the heck out of the crew. I hear you too. I hear you. I want to hook the traction control up too because that track doesn't seem to work well for him. Yeah, Capital's never been good for me. Terrace is doing a great job. There are other fast cars out there hooking. Smurf Built goes there and he hooks. It's just, for me, some reason, Capital's my nemesis when it comes to hooking. It's always something there. But Terrace is doing a great job. He's came a long way from where he was when they first started. He's doing much, much better. So don't take my failures there and you know, transpose that onto him. So Don Reed's like, he makes fun of the smart kid in class. All right, Mac. All right. Yeah, I gotta have Alexa read it for me first, and I just repeat what she says. Maybe he's been sharing crayons with the Marines. Yeah, that's it. We color in crayons like this. He's a voice translator. Mac on EFI website, which is an appropriate cam for about 8 to 900. 5.7 engine with a blower, modern red Hemi version 1. Version 1, 6.4 with a blower, modern red Hemi version 2. Yeah, buddy. Drag procedure in the morning. Glad I saw the notification. Good night. All right, night, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Hope everything goes well with your procedure. I know you're probably gone already, but I thought you said pedicure. I was jealous. Mac, man, you're hilarious, buddy. You're hilarious. Hey, we are coming up on that 10 o'clock mark, and you guys stopped the chat right on time. Right on time. It's been great. It's good being back. It was good to finally do another Wednesday live, and you guys keeping me going for an hour, and we just going back and forth, chatting it up, doing what we do. I think we had the most we had was like, looking at the count was like 17, maybe 18. I don't know. But good numbers for me. I usually don't get that many, but 17, 16, 15, 16, 17, that's really good numbers for me. But I appreciate everyone chiming in, keeping me talking. Max still hitting up, still hitting up the chat. But yeah, it's a great time. I appreciate you guys chiming in. I know it takes an hour out of your evenings. Some of you, you know, it's 8 o'clock. Some of you, it's 9 o'clock. Some of you, it's, I think, West Coast is 7 o'clock. But appreciate you chiming in. Appreciate you watching the channel. Appreciate you coming in for the for the Wednesday lives. And yes, sir, great time. Let's do this again next week is the plan. Max trying to get the last word in. But yeah, definitely plan on trying to do this again next week. I will put out notifications Tuesday and Wednesday morning to make sure everybody knows. And if everything goes right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.